star mounds.
Yeah.
I guess another word is called Tia Seu Lupe.
Tia Seu Lupe, yeah. Kalani knows a lot about this. Go ahead, Lasso.
Oh, not really.
From what I understand with this findings, this was created, it was more of, I believe, an activity, a game that was held with the chiefs and the villagers. And so here's just a little picture of how it looked like. It's very interesting. We didn't have rugby back then or cricket, but we had this. All right. So the way that the game worked, the game took place on a star-shaped earthen mounds, usually built on ridges so pigeons could see them easily. The small grass huts, which you see on there, were built on the arms of the mound, each with a hunter hiding inside. And so chiefs and high-ranking men were the main participants. Pigeon catching was both a sport and a chiefly ritual. So the preparation, chiefs prepare for months, raising decoy pigeons from a young age. Villages trained men, built the mounds, and organized feasts. Second, the decoy birds were released. The trained pigeons were tossed into the air. They circled above the mound, attracting wild pigeons flying in the area. Now the hunters in position. Each hunter sat hidden in a hut with a long bamboo pole, a small net tied to the end, and eye shade to hide the glint of their eyes from birds. As the wild pigeons followed the decoys and landed nearby, hunters sprang up quickly. With a swift movement, they extended the bamboo pole and netted the pigeon mid-flight or on approach. So that's really how the game was played. Some pigeons were eaten immediately. Some were kept alive in cages to be trained as future decoys, and others were distributed as symbols of chiefly generosity, which was a part of, we talked about the Asu massacre. And so that's the game was played.
So this game, of course, Tia Seu Lupe, we know it's the game of the chiefs, so it's not a game for ordinary folks or commoners, right? It's a chiefs game. The question I have for our viewers is, do you believe that those star mounds were actually used for pigeon snaring? Because if you actually look at the star mounds themselves, it's hard to believe that that is what they were used for. So what Aso mentioned was sort of an assumption, right? It's sort of an assumption because most of our Samoan people will see these mounds and they automatically say it's pigeon snaring. So it became the popular belief that that's what they were used for. So the question I have for our viewers is, for those who are familiar with the star mounds, if you see these images, is it really, is it really a platform for pigeon snaring or something else? And the reason why I bring that question up, because there's an actual drawing of what the Tongan platform looks like. And being Tonga and Samoa share a lot of similarities in tradition and culture. You would think the Samoan mounds would look like the Tongan mounds. That's the only reason why I sort of bring that up to question is, why does the Tongan, mound not look like the Samoan mound? Right? And this is the one in Congo. See, it's sort of like almost like a pyramid with the significantly different, right? Definitely doesn't look like our mound. So just a question for our viewers. And you can throw out the other possibilities that they rolled out, Lasso. What did they roll out, the archaeologists?
All right. So the archaeologists are saying that, it can't be a burial site because during their excavation, they didn't find any skulls, bones, or whatever remains in there. So that was eliminated. And they said it cannot be a residential platform because there was no post holes or artifacts of houses that was likely there. So that was also eliminated. It was not a fortification where, they were used for, in case of battles or whatever, because some of the ridges, but many too low. And so there's a lot of things that didn't show that it was for defense type of mechanism. It was not ritual ceremonial because supported by oral traditions, feasts, and seasonal gathering, it just didn't make sense with that platform there.
Kalani, now you've got a snippet of it. Did you have some kind of perspective? There's no wrong answer.
Really. I know. I mean, I don't want to say anything that is way off the subject about it, but the thing of it is, I heard of it. I heard of the story of the symbolized. Only the chiefs can orchestrate this kind of game, and they're the only one that can be in these grounds. But that's the only thing that I can remember. I guess because to me, I'm just guessing that a lot of people are not, they're not supposed to be in that area. Maybe because that they do ceremonies or rituals before they even begin the game, or some sort of ceremonies or something that they have to do before. Because if it's just chiefs that actually are only the ones that could perform this, I'm pretty sure that they're probably going to have some special ceremonies or rituals to perform before they even go on with this or starting with the game. So that's my guess to where that I guess because the grounds are sacred, they don't want these grounds to be, for people just to mingle around and everything. So my thing is our people are visionaries. They vision things. And if they vision an area to where that they have to do these games as far as the Samoa Lupe, wow, that's pretty cool for them. That maybe this is the only spot that they were calling for to become the spot that they can actually do the game and perform this. And I guess they're the only ones that can orchestrate this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's my understanding from what Sis Lasso was talking about and actually telling the story. And I heard about the Samoa Lupe, but didn't really further deep into understanding why. So, but when you're telling the story about the areas, I guess it does tell some privacy of it that only the chiefs can only attain these things. So yeah, that's the only thing I can add on about it.
Yeah.